Back.
That could be that might be reversible error, but a judge could in fact do that. You could limit the scope of cross-examination. They didn't do that here. In fact, the judge
And we are back.
Kyle Rittenhouse prior to him taking the stand.
All right. So back to trying to just get this in some kind of readable order.
That they ask
Nothing too
outside of
exciting.
the pretrial motions that have limited character evidence and such like that.
So I believe these are all the class settings. I'll know more once I kind of go through it all.
It's a misstatement of law and reality.
And if I can try to track down what the symbols mean afterwards, like the R and the T and the P and the...
And by other witnesses that, for example, he didn't actually know. Like, he didn't know Richie McInnes. He didn't even know Balch, right? Like, he had met him that night and hadn't spoken to him since.
And by the medical examiner evidence in terms of the conduct of Rosen.
Yes.
All right, and listening to the Ricada thing.
Talking about the soot on the hand and nothing. And that the fact that he didn't talk about any of those witnesses, you know, any of those expert witnesses, really leads me to believe that he did not watch any of the trial.
No.
If
Well,
the
that's why he
defense
thought
rests-
clothes. He thought Rosenbaum threw a bag of clothes. I mean, the guy, he's legal. He'll always be legal, Schmiegel. I got to opt out. Thanks, everybody. It was fun.
Robert. 3 a. The 2 a.m. Robert Barnes is the best Robert Barnes. This is like
Look, vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Guys, go check it out. The link's in the description. You get fantastic stuff from Robert Barnes and Viva Fry. Like, that's a twofer. It's almost unfair. It's like cheating. It is cheating. Don't subscribe to them.
All right, so now...
I can compete because I do naked hot tub streams, but I don't know how you guys compete.
I do not do that.
I'll take that under advisement, I suppose.
I most definitely do not do anything close to that.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
well, it is 3:40 a.m.
Get out of here, buddy. You've stayed way past what I thought you
Well,
did.
it's funny. In the back of my head,
Yeah, see, I don't know what all these do, but...
how long can this video possibly last?
And that's how I ended up spending all of trial watching or streaming with this channel until 4 a.m.
Having
most mornings.
timers, and it's like, well, you know, I'm enjoying the conversation. I do want to thank you for letting me play a little devil's advocacy here. As I said, the back half I thought was significantly worse than the front half.
And I'm glad you were here doing the devil's advocacy because one thing that's critical is Legal Eagle does make some very good and salient points in this video. He gets a lot of the law right. The problem is as you've said, even as devil's advocate, the places where he gets it wrong is this is a lay audience. He knows he has a largely lay audience, and he has some duty to go ahead and express the correct interpretation of some of these laws, or at least provide the surrounding context and clarification to be a little more careful with his words. And that's a valid criticism for a guy whose channel is as big as it is, and he has the resources to make. He to his credit, he presents an air of non-political video, like for the most part, he does. And
yeah, especially if you're not paying attention to like the overall kind of broader set of videos that he's making. I think certainly over the course of the end of the Trump administration and things, he's like, all right, okay, I get where Legal Eagle is coming from, which is fine. But yes, and that might be me. I mean, I get so concerned about leading people in the wrong direction. If you follow my channel, one of the things you'll hear me say is don't just take my word for X, Y, or Z. Go find. Go look at Legal Eagle's video. Go look at Nick. Talk to other people because lawyers have different perspectives on all of this stuff. But I also try to make it very clear.
See, I'm trying to see the difference here between the exclamation points.
That happens quite often, right? I'm doing a lot of corporate messaging analysis. I'm speculating on, reading between the lines on things, and I try to tell people that. But that's what really bothers me, I think, about
it's like every 9,
that video is just eliding
10.
that difference, suggesting that there is
Oh, shit.
veracity in what are largely his opinions, which he's allowed to have, and which probably mirror his audience base, but not separating out what I think it's clear in subtext. he's arrived.
Man, there's a
which is that
lot here.
Looking at all of this, acquittal seems
I just don't know
right.
what
I think
any of this
he
shit
would say
means.
That's the truth. And then he analyzes why that feels wrong or whatever he wants to do. But
it's interesting that he doesn't end up saying that, right? Like he leads you.
So if this is something that the fucking
and he doesn't ever say,
client does
"Now
to the
drink
server,
from it,
these call
let's think about
functions,
the world in which the trough does
that
it."
might explain why it
Yeah,
takes
and that-
fucking
yeah,
forever to
separate.
join a
There's no other
fucking
way to
server.
read that paragraph about reasonable minds can think both, and if that's the case, the prosecution can't win. But he doesn't say the words. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
All
well,
right.
buddy, I really appreciate you being on.
This was fun. I don't know that
yeah.
how much I can do the late nights, but this was fun.
Well, again,
so-
I'm going to be doing a live show every weekday, 1 p.m. You're welcome to all of them, any
1
or
p.m.
all of them.
Central, right?
So, 1 p.m. Central Time, yes.
I was
And
actually
so,
remembering that.
look, I'm going to send out the.
How many are these calls? Like 200 and some of these? Good lord.
So
Thank you for having me. I'm gonna go to sleep.
There is a bunch.
I really appreciate you being on here. Thanks. Guys, everybody go subscribe to Hogue Law, Virtual Legality. You will not find legal coverage like that anywhere else. And thanks a bunch.
Thank you so much, guys.
Later, Hogue.
All right.
So
now, we need to talk
here's
about Dominic Black.
here's where I think the settings are, right?
I know. I was supposed to talk about it on Timcast.
And
now
it's
I've
like 3.5.
What
I
about-
waited
what about
3
Dominic?
hours and 40 minutes.
So Dominic Black had a hearing yesterday. Dominic Black is, of course, he is charged with 2
I just don't
counts
know
of
what
the same crime.
these symbols
Dominic Black
mean
is
with the
charged
W's and the
with
Y's.
illegally providing
If they're enabled,
minors a
disabled.
firearm. And it's under the exact same statute that Kyle Rittenhouse was charged for the illegal possession of a minor of a deadly weapon, right? It's the same statute. The exception to the language in 3C.
And see, they're not even the
exact
same for
except
per weapon,
clauses are
per
reversed. So
class.
it has the hunting statutes first,
Tertiary,
then it says
primary,
or
secondary.
in the same way, the
How does she
long
don't have a
barrel versus
third
short barrel
weapon?
distinction. So it's
Secondary.
the exact same law. However, it's the criminal act is to give a minor a firearm or a deadly weapon of any kind, right? That specifically that ends up.
Yeah, so these are
that
loadouts.
Elevates it to a class like H felony.
It's the
or
loadout
whatever
settings.
stupid felony lettering system that Wisconsin uses. Now he's been charged with 2 counts of it because 2 of them ended up in fatalities, even though that is
Progression.
probably not the proper
Global XP
charge,
table.
right? The proper
you would
charge.
think
There was
it's still one gun that ended up in 2 fatalities. That would should be one charge.
there's one act of me giving a gun to someone else.
Yeah.
The fact that they used it for 2 homicides doesn't equate to 2 charges under my read of the law. But that's
Well, why
Thomas.
is this not? Why is not
that's-
directed? Why is this not summary judgment the same way that Kyle got it?
That's Thomas Claire Binger, who is the prosecutor in this case, is interpretation of the law, and Judge Schrader is the judge of this law. Now, Joe, you ask a very good question. So he had a hearing yesterday, and at that hearing they discussed exactly what you're talking about: dismissal, right? Dismissal on the grounds that this law was, or that this particular set of facts, it's the exact same set of facts.
This
that
gun
Kyle
is an
Rittenhouse had.
exception. It's basically this gun is an exception to the law as far as, and you can give it to anyone who's 16 or over based on the statute.
Now I'll tell you why it was not dismissed yet. Dominic's lawyer has not brought the motion yet.
Oh, so it's gonna happen.
Can you imagine, though, like not
That he
bringing that
hasn't-
motion
yeah, that
the
he
day
hasn't brought
of?
it yet?
Is
Now-
he represented by Richards or?
No, he's not represented by the parties involved, and we won't get into the reasons for that. Personally, I think they should hire Shirafisi, since he successfully argued the underlying motion in Rittenhouse's case. But I don't know. I don't know if there's conflict issues with that. I think those conflicts would be resolved at this point in time. Personally, like to the extent that a conflict may have existed prior, I think now that Kyle's case is over, there would be no significant conflict between Dominic and Kyle now. But I wanted to ask the panel: do you guys see any apparent conflict in like a Shirafisi representing Dominic Black and Kyle Rittenhouse now that Kyle's case is adjudicated?
I mean, typically with criminal cases, you I think you can't represent more than one defendant in one case, right? But I mean, but I don't
It's
know
not
if
that simple, but as a general rule, that's a safe.
it's generally a bad idea, generally speaking, at the very least.
Here's
But
the
I think-
theoretical
But I
situation.
think,
I'm sorry.
well, hold on, but I think
ahead.
in this case, maybe because of the fact that Kyle's case is already ended, like unless there was some sort of information that between the two of them that's bad for Dominic, that he would have learned through representing Kyle, like that's the only thing that I could really think of.
Yeah, so here's
Joe,
where
go
I got.
ahead.
Maybe there's a defense that Dominic Black would have that Kyle stole the gun without his knowledge. He didn't realize that it was the gun that he had there in the safe. And maybe that's, you know, for all he knows, Kyle took the gun from somewhere else. It wasn't his gun that Kyle took. And for Sheriff VC to have Dominic Black, you know, make statements to that effect, that would be imputing some sort of culpability.
Good God, there's a lot.
Not yet been raised. And
But
as
that's
his
gone
former,
now.
His former clients. No, let's say now Kyle. Let's say there could be charges raised against him that he stole the gun. That Kyle stole the gun.
But you'd
So-
already checked that, right? Like you'd talk to them, and if you were considering hiring them, and be like, "Hey, is this a possibility?"
What I would say is, I think it's okay, but you should get a CYA letter from.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kyle.
You
You
he should
get a cover your ass letter from Kyle. But
Right.
yeah, and I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's the way the thing is going to play out. In
I
theory, that's the only problem that I could see is that he might finger point at Kyle, and that would look bad. That as his former attorney, now he's going to have a new client who's pointing his finger at his former client. So that's the only thing I can see.
So there's two issues here. One is in a criminal case of an apparent conflict, waiver does exist, right? Like you can provide both parties knowledge of the apparent conflict, and those parties can waive it. That's not an absolute bar to a conflict existing, but it's a bar to most conflicts. And then the second thing to consider would be the possibility of those federal charges that we've talked about. I'm not sure what those federal charges would be, and without the feds actually making federal charges, we wouldn't know. But if they were to somehow come up with a scheme to charge both Kyle and Dominic Black of a federal gun trafficking charge, I could see maybe a conflict there, but I don't think it's readily apparent. So that's a possibility. But let's get to the news. Yesterday they had a hearing. Binger is the attorney. Binger walks in. This is maybe the most offensive thing. Binger walks in with a neck scarf on. I have to look. We have to
Neck
focus
scarf.
on the fact that he's wearing a neck scarf of some sort.
An ascot?
But, like-
An ascot?
I don't know if it's an ascot, because like an ascot goes down right into your jacket, but a neck scarf to me is like in Greece when the women have like the little the ties on the side.
What?
And with Binger, I frankly don't know which one he's got. But he comes in, he's gussied up, and he's got a little swagger to him, according to my source. He's got a little swagger to him. And
Are we getting
he
pictures?
goes up.
Are pictures coming?
I don't have pictures, unfortunately, but you don't need them. You can see it.
Yeah, I can see my head.
Here's the thing. They talk about this issue, and Binger says to the judge and defense counsel, if you dismiss these charges, I will appeal your read of the statute. And for whatever reason, I wanted to get y'all's opinion on this. The defense attorney decides at this point not to file, but to rather continue. Now, I don't know if this is the defense asking for the continuance, but the hearing gets continued until January 10th of 2022. And the motion to dismiss is not actually...
Slowly getting there.
I guess maybe he just wants to make sure he's really sure before he pulls that trigger, just in case it gets. But why not make the? I mean, sure, make him take it to appeals.
Yeah, that's what I say. Make him take it to appeals, because if the state is gonna, first of all, he may be bluffing. He might be bluffing on this. Second of all, if he's gonna appeal it, he's gonna appeal it whether you do it now or whether you do it later, right?
Well, and it's always better to be the
Crazy thing is, these are in like
appeal. So why
like
not
alphabetical
say, hey,
numerical
yeah, let's
order,
go to appeals, and you can try
but
to
not
overturn the
fully.
verdict.
Not sure what that's called.
I don't understand why you.
But
would
like you'll
prefer
have 49.
I'm asking you now. I mean, couldn't he appeal the verdict? You're saying he's
5, right?
Kyle
Instead of
dismissal
50.
as far as the Kyle dismissal.
No, he would appeal the Dominic decision if the judge were to
Not
go
in
ahead and
numerical order.
dismiss Dominic Black's case.
Why is he not going to appeal the decision on Kyle? To dismiss the
I
charge?
don't think he can.
Why not?
That's a decision by the jury.
No,
as
I'm talking about
opposed to
the charge that was dismissed, the 6th charge that was dismissed. He can still appeal.
All right.
He would go ahead and appeal it. If you guys want to talk for just a second, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Here we go. We're not getting the music because I missed the song. I wanted to hear the song. Did you know he has a song?
I didn't know he has a song.
He has a bathroom break song. That's like someone wrote for him the music and the lyrics. It's like you're sitting here watching Ricardo stream and he's busy screaming in his bathroom or something like that. Like it's like talking about him taking a whiz and now he's forgetting to wash his hands. It's like this whole long 2.5-minute thing that one of the geniuses in his audience here created
That's
for him.
awesome.
And that
I
is the
feel like that's
greatness.
probably not what he wants us talking about right now.
He totally does. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding?
I mean,
have you
he
just
does
met him?
actively choose to put that song on, though, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
no one's
he's the-
forcing him to do it.
It's really great. So this is
At Roy Backer sent a lemon.
So you see
What's up, Roy?
do the whole shill thing. He's
I'm
not
shaking.
here now.
What's going on the
Time.
D Live side?
Legal's tried her hand at
Anything
honest
interesting?
stuff.
I'm doing boring
Yeah.
monkey work at the moment.
The whole shilling thing. The whole shilling for others. Shilling for others. This is an art form.
Yeah, see,
So,
reward.
what
See,
is
these are the
that?
numbers I need to know
And
what
we
these
gotta shill
are.
off. Which of you two can shill for the 3 of us best? Nothing?
I might
You can't
have
do
a
it.
tough
You
time
can't
with
even
that.
do it.
I'm not a great shill.
Oh my gosh.
No, I mean,
Oh.
no. I mean, this is the way that
Do
I
it.
the way that I like to say it. I like to say, hey,
Here we go.
if you're watching this and you're enjoying this and you want to see more content like this, it makes sense to subscribe and to hit the notification bell so you can see when more stuff like this is coming out. That's
What the hell
how
are you
I
guys
do it.
talking
I tried to
He's
stop her,
trying to-
Nick.
he's
I
trying to-
tried to stop her. She's not-
No.
This is
I
fucking
leave and I'm like,
insane
oh,
for
here,
coding
discuss
for what
this
this game
deep
does.
issue with Dominic Black, and I come back and I'm like, there's shilling of channels going on. What the hell is happening?
No. Okay,
Cut
good
her off.
logic.
You're touching
Mr.
massage,
Mr.
just
Joe
go, you're cutting
Neerman.
up.
No. He tried to get people.
This could be data that's collected though too, right? That would go.
And Rumble was
um,
like, I'm not comfortable with doing that. And I said, well, I'll just tell you how
In a
I'm
database.
Hey Ritz,
comfortable to
what you
subscribe.
up to tonight?
Guys.
I'm still fucking with the trying to unlock the progression stuff in Mirage.
Listen to me. You're
So,
this is my
I'm
show.
looking up
Listen,
since I couldn't
go
find any way to
everybody's names.
open up the U asset
Go check
file
them out.
other than
Google
through
Files, you're
this.
streaming at 11 Central.
I opened up in
So you can go look. if
What?
you subscribe to
Word
Google
or
Files
was it
right
Word
now,
Plus Plus or
tomorrow
whatever it
when you're
is,
streaming, it'll pop up in your little
and that was all right, but it added a bunch of extra characters. Right now, I'm just trying to go through and see if I can get these settings looked at, because when I didn't have this file in my account, it set me to 0. When I put the file back in, it gave me rank 2.
I'm like the
So
I'm like the
I need to figure out what's causing that rank to happen. And then there's also the, if I can change these, there's a chance and find out how to change them properly. There's a good chance that we can unlock all the customization stuff for the game.
And then I've been doing this, and I've been enjoying the heck out of this.
So, but these item reward stuff, this is where I
But
don't
most of
know.
the stuff up there is
And so, like, you can see, like, the reward item 1712
that I'm
and D is the command. I don't know what D means as maybe denied, so I have to look up and see, like, what the plus means, right? What the C means, right? And if these are, it's the same. Well, these are all call functions, so I'm not worried about these so much. But there's this global progression, right? That I need to find out what all these are, and then these are like the weapons loadouts. So I figured this out, by doing
Then,
this.
after
So
that,
these are, well, sort of.
smooth
So these are like the
transition to
primary
Mirage show,
weapons,
1 p.m. Central Time
right?
tomorrow, and we're gonna
For
have
this particular, for the Alchemer
warriors
class.
and panelists on as well. We're gonna be discussing a whole lot of interesting
Alchemancer,
topics. And look,
primary weapon 1,
be unemployed by the
right?
end of
There's
the day.
common,
We're
epic,
so
legendary.
impressed.
So I just need to figure out like
We're
rare,
here to
why,
talk
common.
about
So I need to see which of these
content all day.
symbols means that it's available, and then change it,
And these guys will
and to
let
see
me
if that
claim
would do
my
that or
identity
not.
claim, which I
But
say, no, we won't, but we can try
again,
to
it's,
for
you know, it's like the hairstyles, right? We know the hairstyle's number 8 right?
I do want to share this real quick.
For the Torrent,
Guys,
right? We know his hairstyle 9. So these are settings. So we got that. So that's kind of cool. I just don't know. I think common is O, but I just don't know yet. So we're gonna have to play with these settings and see if I can make a change. So then going down for the call functions.
This guy's terrified.
So these are the item rewards. So these are, I'm guessing these are per class, but I don't know what the, like, okay, so here's item reward 1248, right? And there's various versions, and then there's the position of if it's available or not. So I'm just trying to get it to where I can read it, so I'm not trying to make it easier for me.
Go ahead and challenge me on it. I will bring
And then
it
if I
in
could
and
make
broken
some
in,
changes
and the
see if I
camera
can't
won't
unlock all of
like,
them.
You're home, Binger. You're home. You're a piece of garbage. I understand. So
That's the
he
goal.
has threatened this guy with all sorts of felony charges that will
So we have to
if
kind of
he's
figure out.
convicted, will put him in prison
And then what I could do is
for
I
a
could just
very
make
long
this
time. So
file
he goes in,
read
he
only
says what he
once I
needs to
make
do, but one thing
the
I pointed
appropriate
out
changes.
back
If I
at the
do
time
that, if I
of
do
the
it correctly, then
Stand
yeah, the game won't be able to overwrite it.
gave Kyle a whole bunch of help.
And then everything will be unlocked at some point.
Talked about how chaotic the situation
Hopefully.
was. How he was afraid
Like the
just
forced
to
hard
leave
way of doing it.
so that he
And
retreated
since there's no
to the,
Steam check,
rooftop.
or
Well,
Kyle
good
was
luck, man.
yeah, it's
told, "No, you
lots
gotta
of
be
monkey
proud
work
'cause you're
basically,
medical."
kind of boring. But
There's a big distinction between what Dominic Black was doing.
so I thought I'd
what
just
Kyle
listen to
Rittenhouse
Ricado's
had to
stream
do
tonight,
because of their
and
different roles there, and
as he's ripping on
everything I
Legal,
saw
it was kind of funny.
seemed to be, I have to say a couple things, but
So-
everything else I'm going to give to the defense. With that, I want to
Because there's no real way to just
Kyle raised a whole lot of
delineation.
money for his legal defense, something like $500,000 plus dollars.
And since I don't know what these settings are,
Dominic Black
that's
has
the
not
hard
had
part.
access
It's not
to
knowing
that.
what the
That's one
settings
thing
are.
Barnes has talked about. You know, it really would have been great if they would have set up a joint defense agreement. Like, I don't know the logistics of that. I don't know the practicality of whether or not they tried that. What I do know is that Dominic didn't appear to take part in that, and he has a privately funded attorney, and they're facing a real issue.
Hope
So
you
I'm
can
gonna
figure it
send
out.
Yeah, it'd be great if I
Have a good
could.
night.
Go link into the
All right,
chat.
man. I'll catch you later.
If you guys feel compelled,
I know it's kind of boring.
to support Dominic Black, he's the one who is stuck dealing with this issue from Binger. I will say on the record, without a hint, Binger, sue me, you motherfucker. This is an unethical, malicious prosecution. It's politically motivated. Binger is a giant piece of shit. He was politically motivated against Kyle. He lost against Kyle because his case is bad. He knew his case was bad, and he tried to lie to bring a fake case against his kid. And now that he doesn't have it, he's going after Dominic Black. And that is remember, Dominic Black went in for the state, and I guarantee you, I guarantee without a hint of doubt that Dominic Black's attorney had talked to Thomas Claire Binger and had made some sort of not official deal but a partial deal. Now, when Judge Schrader says, no, I'm dismissing this charge against Kyle Rittenhouse, Dominic is charged under the exact same thing. The logical answer is go in, move for dismissal. The judge grants the dismissal on the exact
Yeah,
same
see, we
grounds.
need to know what
And
this
Binger
is.
says, if you do that, I will punish you with an appeal. I will make you pay another $20, $50, whatever $1,000 it is for an appeal, because my
And it may be a
little
thing where,
stupid
like, these
ego
numbers,
is hurt because
that I can
didn't
just
win
change
against Kyle, but
these.
I'm gonna bury you, even though you testified for me against your brother. what a fucker Thomas Binger is. Anyway, there's the give, send, go. It's not GoFundMe, who's absolutely shitty right now, but please consider checking it out for Dominic Black. That's the big update, guys, is that yesterday there was a hearing. They went in there and Binger said, if you dismiss this judge, I'm going to appeal you. I'm going to make this kid pay tens of thousands of dollars on appeal. And I hate this. I hate this prosecutor. Sorry. That's my little soapbox. If you guys have anything to add.
I mean, 100%. I'm just. It's so frustrating to see him like peacocking in this situation where you can tell he's running a trial that should never have been run, and he's showing up every day with a different pin, flashing for the camera, you know, showing off, trying to be this sort of personality. You can tell he's sort of trying to, I guess, launch a political career or something, or
Yep.
and
or media career.
yeah, and it's just so maddening to see him going after people who are obviously innocent. And I can't understand it, and I would love to see a world where that sort of thing was properly punished, where there were actually sanctions that I could expect to see happen for some of this stuff. You know, because when we have witnesses getting up there and he says, "Oh yeah, we didn't ask you to change your testimony," and the witness is going, "Yeah, you did." Like, how
Oh,
are these guys?
I left out a part. I left real quick, Joe. I left out a part. He's charged with 2 felony accounts. 2 felony counts. I mentioned this earlier, right? Because 2 people died, even though I think that's the improper charging. I think the proper charge is the transfer, not on the death. Binger offered a compromise plea deal of only 1 felony count, right? So this motherfucker, he overcharges. He knows he's overcharging.
They always do that.
He offers the plea deal to get rid of the overcharge and go back to the original would-be proper charge if you could support it factually, but you can't. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Joe. I just remembered that.
No, I was just remembering that when I was a child, I always thought it'd be so cool if I could dig a hole to China, because then if I ever wanted to visit China, I could just go through the hole and I can just like walk on through, and I don't know why no one ever dug it, and it would take a lot of digging, and what I was thinking is that if we ever tried such an expedition, and we probably wouldn't be able to make it very far, but whenever that project would stop and you get to that point, that's when you push Binger in, because there is no freaking hole deep for this dummy prosecutor who basically doesn't give a damn about people, about justice, about right or wrong. It's just, how do I better myself politically, economically, social standing, and it's just abuse and prosecutorial abuse with knowledge that this whole damn town is some family-run shenanigan, and they're basically completely slimy assholes. That's what it is. They're just completely slimy assholes, and there's no comeuppance. No one's looking into it and saying like, oh wow, we really should. Nothing's going to happen to him for all the prosecutorial abuses which happened during this past trial, which I mean were just shocking and stunning, and Fifth Amendment violations, basic civil liberties, not giving over proper evidence and doctoring up evidence and ignoring judge instructions about bringing in stuff that's clearly prejudicial and inadmissible. One thing after another, and all the signs we get, every sign we get, is that he's able to walk this road because he knows there will never, ever, ever be anyone who questions this crap that he pulls, and that he can get away with without any possible repercussions.
I agree. I don't really have anything.
He went to the bathroom on me.
I know. I don't really have anything to add to any of that because I
So
I
while
agree.
let me explain to you guys how you shill, okay? Because I'm sorry, that was crap. All 3 of you, that was terrible. Oh my gosh! Listen to me. Okay,
Nope, not
let me
gonna
explain
change
something to you. You guys need to follow Ian Runkle, okay? Runkle the Bailey. First of all, the name itself is freaking cool. It is cool as hell. He has the coolest hair even sometimes Legal Bites looks over and she's like, damn, I wish my hair looked like that. And he gives legal insight that is amazing and brilliant with that soft, cool Canadian accent, and he gives you perspective that you're not going to get from anyone else. Legal Bites, let's face it, at the end of the day, how the hell can you not sign? If you're not signed up to her, I don't even know what to tell you anymore. I don't know how you not signed up to Legal Bites. I mean, really? Why not? Me, what I tell you is this. When you're watching me, I'm going to make you laugh, or I'm going to make you really think hard about something, or I'll probably say something that's based AF. So, for any of those bases, I'm sitting here, I come here for like 3.5 hours, I'm like, you know what, 15,000 people, I probably should walk out of here with 300 subs. I think I got like 6 of you to sign up. It's pathetic. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. I can't keep coming back here night after night till like 3 o'clock in the morning. If all I can ring out of you guys, it's just like, like 25 subs or something like that.
Closing it right there.
Do me a favor. The only compensation I get is I see that stupid little number go up, and somehow that makes me feel as if, you know what, I'm growing. So I urge you, all 3 of us, click it now, boom, boom, boom. There you go. That's how you do it. That's how you push it. I'm at 29,902 when I made that pitch, okay? And I'm just gonna say that really Nick is pretty much the greatest lawyer you've ever met. He's pretty much the greatest lawyer I've ever seen. The guy is a genius, and he's a marketer. He's entertaining. I'll bet there's like at least 20%, 25% of you who are not sub to him. I don't know what you're thinking. Why wouldn't you be? It's just crazy. That's all. Oh, hey, Nick.
I'm
Where did you
curious
come
as to
from?
what was actually happening while I was gone, that you saw me and switched to that thing. No, I'm
He was
I'm
giving
trying.
us a shilling tutorial this time.
Look, I do not. One policy I have on my channel is I do not promote a GoFundMe or anything like that unless I am willing to give to it. And I went to go look for my wallet, which I cannot find, which is great.
Here comes the ridge.
No.
Sorry.
I'm not doing a Ridge wallet ad today.
I mean, but that's a perfect opportunity for it, though, is it not?
I know, but like losing it is not the best ad for it. I'm just saying. It's the whiskey, by the way, that made me lose it. I am pledging right now. I am giving $250 to Dominic Black.
Wow.
Look, I do not ever advocate for a cause that I'm not willing to give to. Okay, and so right now I'm doing it.
And similarly, I will give to my cause. I'm going to sub now to Legal Bites, Runkle the Bailey, and to Nick Ricada. So
there you go.
Subbed already?
There you go. Yeah, that's pretty
At
embarrassing.
this point,
But
I'm
let
gonna
me see.
unsub from your channel for that.
I'm confirming it right now. The donation has been processed, and I will show you. I had to use my other browser because it had my credit card saved because I still can't actually find it. But here you guys go. You can see I have pledged $250 from Mercado Law, and my comment is Binger is garbage and a disgrace to all lawyers. Look, I'm not a guy who asks people to do things that I'm not willing to do myself, and this one is one I believe in. I think that Dominic Black has been unfairly characterized by a couple people. I was on Tim Pool's show yesterday, and I think that he put out a video about Dominic Black that was, let's say, lacking in awareness of the reality of the situation that he was in. That's the most charitable way I can say it, and I think that was an unfair characteristic of Dominic Black. And so, look, I presented it to you guys. You've seen the link. It's been in the chat. If you want to donate, go ahead. If you don't want to donate, 100% fine. But look, Binger is still being a piece of shit, and he's trying to take his loss against Kyle Rittenhouse, Mark Richards, and Corey Shirafisi out on the next target, because that's who he is, and that should be obvious from how he conducted his trial. So.
Nicholas, this was really phenomenal, but I think I must have accidentally shown my foot on camera here because I'm getting all these questions about where my OnlyFans is. So I don't know how that happened.
Someone sent me an email the other day. They're like, my wife finds Joe attractive, and now I'm questioning all of my life decisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
You really got an email like that, or are you just making that up?
I'm 100%
You need to forward
serious.
that on to me because that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Actually, well, that's probably not a conversation for a minute. So,
Jeez.
so anyway, I just want to thank you for having me on here. I'm gonna try and catch on. I'm gonna try and get onto your stream like tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, just because I figure, I figure that your channel is like red hot, and some of it's got to rub off for me eventually here. And if I don't
Eventually, you've well over doubled your subscribers. Knock it off.
the truth is I didn't double. I actually went from I was at
You like
4,100.
quadrupled, actually.
I'm at 4,100. I think I quintupled.
No, yeah.
So,
Good.
So yeah. No, I
Look.
figure you're red hot, and I'm gonna try and milk that. We are gonna have to work out our schedules on everything here, because I had no idea that you were streaming tomorrow morning, Levites, until he just brought it up, and I was actually thinking about streaming tomorrow morning. I'm not gonna match up again. I'm not gonna go up against you. But
I mean, you could have seen my tweet about it.
yeah.
No, look, listen. I have created a lawyer grift thread on Twitter with all of us, and it's not just for me to post show links, so everybody should be using it in that way. Say, hey, here's an open invite. I think we are better when we collaborate. It elevates every show.
Amen.
And so
Amen.
that
And I love having you guys on. You are always welcome on anything I do. I think.
I'm not. Well, we'll talk about it later. But for now, I think this sort of mutual collaboration is a great way where we all build our independent channels and have everybody coming on. Because guys, we're all covering stuff that the other lawyers haven't even had time to see, and so coming in with varying levels of exposure, varying levels of expertise, we're going to be bringing a whole bunch of different insight and understanding to each of the issues that we're covering. So whatever time of day, like the idea is that we're going to have a bunch of drunk lawyers streaming at all hours of the day. Look, I'll be drunk, but everybody else can too. The idea that you'll be able to tune in at any time to one of our channels and get great content, that's what we're going for right now. And if it blossoms into something better, maybe that's in the future, and we'll see.
Anyway, I do need to get out of here. For my time, it's 4:12 a.m. So I gotta flash out of here. You got like a gross amount of super chats.
I got a bunch of chats to read, and I am going to read them. I'm going to read them.
And I thank you, audience, because I've actually been.
He's got 10,000 people watching him right now.
Really great time.
10,000 people at this hour. 10 fucking thousand people.
I actually think that probably makes.
It's insane.
Law tube moments is like when
I remember it was just like a couple of thousand of us on his late night streams. Fucking insane. That's the only problem about when you follow somebody and they blow up really big. Then you just can't talk to them regularly just because.
I'm gonna head out too because I've got some stuff that I'm gonna take care of.
I was gonna say,
Because
guys,
now there's
we're gonna
so
read
many
super
people.
chats. If you want to peace out right now, no one will think less of you. So
I should probably get some sleep because I've been off in the desert running around shooting guns, having a great time, shooting all the things I can't at home because
like Alec Baldwin's assistant.
Oh.
No, I was gonna say like an AR-15, which I haven't been able to shoot up here for like 2.5 years. Because
Well, I'm not able to normally shoot an assistant or a director of photography, but apparently down in Alec Baldwin's production, you can just shoot director of photographies with impunity. So.
Oh, that just makes me so annoyed. Well, here's the thing. Every time I'm picking up a rifle out there, I'm immediately going and checking it. It's like somebody's just, and this is a rifle that I've just used on a stage. I know it's empty because that was the last part of the stage. I'm going up to pick it up to move it to another spot, and I'm still checking it because it's been alone for a while, and who knows, right? This is just responsible behavior. This is the standard, is you check your, and there is no circumstance where I understand that the statement of claim or whatever the sort of originating document alleges that he wasn't even supposed to be pulling the trigger there. And so if that's the case, and again, that from my understanding is an allegation, it's unproven, we don't know yet, but then why would you? It's
No, I was watching. I've been watching a show with my wife called Travelers. We're in the 3rd season, and one of the like lame characters gets a gun, and one of the Traveler characters is like talking to the character about the gun and all this stuff, and talking about all, and the Traveler character grabs the gun. They're trained, right? And they pull out the mag, they empty the mag, and then they clear the chamber, and they hand the gun back to the person who has no idea how to use guns, and they're like, okay, point it at me and pull the trigger, and if you can do that before I can take it away from you, then you're ready type thing, which is this super gay sort of standard. But it doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. What they don't say, and they're ostensibly teaching this person about gun safety, is I've given you the gun, you clear the chamber. I don't care if you watch the person clear the chamber in front of you. Basic gun safety. You clear the chamber. You check the mag. What if they missed one? You have no idea. Check it out. And they don't do it. And it's so freaking frustrating. It's like you're doing a show that clearly is having a sort of agendized approach to gun safety, and you're not doing proper gun safety. Every person who's handed a gun should clear the chamber, should check the rounds for themselves in case they're on Hollywood and they're dummy rounds or whatever and not blanks. They should be checking those rounds, not relying on an armorer. Sorry, that's my personal little tangent.
I mean, I said this in one of the sort of video on demand things. Right now the standard is the armorer just is the person who knows things, but I would think it makes sense to be like, hey, if you want to be an actor and involve yourself in productions that use guns, you should have some training. I did a similar video saying if you want to be a criminal defense or prosecution lawyer, you should have some training with guns so that you know that you can't do stuff like what Binger did. That's shocking to me.
So do you know that charging an AR-15 takes more than a literal frame on a video to do?
Yeah.
You can't actually clear and charge around without a significant amount of effort. That takes,
What's up, loser?
half of a second.
Oh, still going through this.
I mean, some of the people out there could have, run through that as fast as, was suggested.
Trying to make it where it's a little more readable.
Top of their game, coming across the states to compete in an event.
See if I can figure out what the hell's going on.
Do I have to purchase this game to play it?
Yeah, you'll have to try to track down a key, or you can find somebody who has it to give them. Ask around. I'm sure there's a lot of people that had it and would be more than happy to give it to you.
Is that if you're going to talk about what a gun can and can't do, and rest your submission,
You can still purchase them. I think.
you need to be right. You can't just
I think they're getting harder to find, though.
I don't ask around for things, I find them.
The court would
And knock
knock
yourself out, my friend.
Like, well, it's not possible to overdose on
At one point, it was free, but
who's ever heard of that, right? They'd rip me to pieces. They'd say, "Mr. Runkle, are you on
here
drugs
we
right
go
now?
into some interesting
Why are you lying to the
settings.
court? Why?"
See, I don't know what these
But that's the
symbols
kind
mean
of
for the
equivalent
settings,
to some of the statements that were made. Oh, there's
but
no such thing as
now
a
that I
gun
can
law.
kind of get it into
Are you kidding?
a thing where I can kind of see what what I'm looking at.
But, we'll
Have
be
you played
talking
Coco's
about,
Mordau mod?
One thing I want to do tomorrow
No, I don't think I have. What is it?
is going through the Kyle
Is that the mall,
Tucker Carlson,
Dodge Mall?
going through the interview he had today. I don't
Where they where they're
Reverting the game back to before the underhand nerf.
The post-judgment statements of Kyle Rittenhouse,
Ah.
because now we can assume that all statements are made in contemplation of civil actions.
I didn't know
Anyways,
they
I'm gonna
nerfed
give
the
you guys time
underhand.
to leave, because I know it's really late for Runkle and it's really early for
Patch 9, I believe.
And yeah,
Yeah.
is
For
there
all
anything you wanna
weapons?
say, Legal Bites, before you peace out?
No, that'll be about it. If you guys are interested in coming and checking out content on my channel, I'm gonna have a live stream tomorrow, talking about
All right.
live stream. So
Underhand was severely nerfed to combat swing manip.
I did not know that.
And,
Well, that must have happened a long fucking time ago if it was patch
we're gonna
9.
touch on quite a few topics. Probably not go as deep into them as we would if we
That
were
underhand
on our
Wessex.
live stream, but you know, at least
Oh, yeah.
kind of discuss them a bit.
I think I remember.
remember
I remember that
By
now.
the
Yeah.
way, we've raised over $2,500 so far for Dominic Black.
Nice.
So thank you guys for doing
Yeah, I
that.
remember that now.
And guys, check out.
I don't think I had a problem with that.
11 a.m. Central Time, and I bid both of my guests farewell as I delve into reading a whole.
Okay, so see, these are.
Only the devs did and casuals.
All right.
All right.
See ya.
Good night.
See you guys later. Peace. Whoa, well, ladies and gentlemen.
Having crazy
You are
stuff in the
stuck-
game like that only adds to the content.
We're
Yeah,
off,
but if it's
we're off of this little.
if it's retarded and OP, that
thing. And we're gonna get going on this.
you know
We're
that
gonna
makes
read a whole
yeah
lot
it
of
makes
these
sense. Like I said, I didn't have a
as
problem with them nerfing that.
possible. Look, to everybody who super chatted, I love you. You make.
I knew how it was done. I could
possible.
never get it. I
do
could never get my
absolute
mouse
best
movement to
read
do
all
it
of the super
right.
chats. I have
Especially that,
so many to
because that was like the
from the previous streams, and I'll
is
be
it the
working on
pickle
it.
or something
One
like
thing
that? I
wanna
can't remember what they called
say
it.
is I am, if you did not see earlier, I am releasing
Okay, so
See you, Cumber.
segmented version of
Cucumber,
the
that's what-
Copper
yeah.
House Trial in full in its own playlist.
okay, so I've actually learned a little bit now about some of these weapons,
Binger
about
was
some of the
released
code.
today at 10
So it looks
a.m.
like there's
tomorrow, which is
different
1 hour,
skins.
plenty of time before Legal Bites' stream tomorrow.
And it's common, epic, legendary, and rare.
Mark Richards.
And this is what everybody wants to unlock, right? Is to unlock these.
That will be uploaded tomorrow.
And see,
10 a.m.
common
It will be there. If you want to check it out,
has
please
no.
go ahead and do so.
Well, legendary doesn't either.
Include all of the opening arguments. All of
So
the
I'm just not sure what
secondary
these symbol
in
commands
order
are.
in the playlist, and I don't know that they'll be uploaded in order because.
And if I can make
Stuff
any
like that adds
changes.
to the pool of attacks they can throw, which those are very high variance if they hit. Not everyone spams reaction time just on top of a patch that has phasing attacks.
Commentary and analysis from the panel as it happens. My
Yeah,
editor
but
is
it was
putting
just-
in
I don't know.
bonkers
There's been
amount of
problems with
hours.
phasing
I am
attacks
happy
to begin
compensate
with.
him for those hours,
Why
but
add to it?
He is working very hard to get those things done, and I will be uploading
Especially when that happens in like a split
somewhere
second,
between
and
1
you
and
could
3 of them a day,
curl that
depending on
cucumber
what,
like
you know,
like
they take
really.
time to
I mean, I was
trim
watching
out
some of
and
the
trim out other
some of the
speed
swing
factors.
traces on it. It was just like a, I don't know how you could even get that spiral at eye level. You know, just like fuck. I couldn't do it. I know how it's done. I just could never do it. Or get it done quick enough.
Who want to go back and reference specific areas later, or who want to.
So here's all
wanna
these
go back
weapons,
to-
man.
so
All
I
these
go
weapon
back to someone
skins.
put in for any trial that,
So the only
we
thing
would
that's gonna
feature,
fuck
but I will
this
say
is
that
all the
future
machine
trials,
language
I
below
wanna have
me,
them
below
coming
all
out
this.
in real time. But me and my editor were new to this sort of aspect of coverage, and so.
So these
bear
are all
with
the
us as we learn
classes,
this process, and,
all the
for
weapon
next trial, which I
skins.
suspect is going to be Kim Potter, although. I have
Some of these skins are actually
Who's
pretty
playing as
badass.
well may have an
I think it
audio
was,
feed directly from the court. If they don't have an audio feed,
What's his
we
name?
may have a
Fucking,
person
I
in the
unlocked
court
quite a few of
to
these.
observe. Keep posted on that because I would love the law.
But I'd like to be able to compare and contrast
In the event
his
that we don't cover
files.
Ghislaine, Kim Potter, the taser cop, will be covered in.
Because I
full
don't think
in
I could
this
see
channel.
why
That
the
is
files.
next lawsuit that I
Like when I
expect
removed this
next,
file
so-
from my game, it put me back to level 0.
so,
And then when I put it back in,
and
it
Steve,
it put me at
Simo,
back to level
um,
2.
Please follow up with Tim Pool on his offer. Yes, we'll be working to have.
Hopefully a new melee slasher learns from the mistakes of Mordau.
We'll be working
I
on
doubt
this
it.
thing. I've gotten more messages than I can even count.
It's always going to be fan-based development. I don't think there's a major company that would put one together properly, like a AAA title. Because I just don't think the just the player base in general is burnt out. I mean, I think people are getting burnt out of games anyway. It's like all the new games are just rehashes of the same shit.
It'll take someone from those companies to realize the tech.
Well, I mean, but look, I mean, I mean, if you know the history of the game, the genre, you know it's all been fan-base created. I mean, Torn Banner, before they became Torn Banner, was a bunch of kids in their fucking basement. You know, from all over the world.
Like a lawyer and see why Kyle should be in jail. Quoting Legal Eagle, probably.
So, and then, you know, they formed Torn Banner and then made Shiv 1, a couple of other games, and then, you know, Mordau came out of that community. You got Renown coming out of that community.
They were huddled up in their little coop and they were sleeping. It was very nice. So he did not play guitar for the chickens, but I did see the chickens.
Very dull Mordau combat in the new Elder Scrolls will have so many people thinking that's the best melee slasher, if they even know that term, experience.
Right. And see, all this machine language, I'm going to have no idea what this shit is. And this is probably where the settings are. Well, some of the settings. So these are all the weapon skins for Viperous, right? Primary and secondary. I just don't know what these symbols are, what they mean. Is it enabled or not? But, and it's the same here too. So, like accent colors, eye color, generic, and see these are. Well, I need to find out what these symbols mean. But, and then these reward levels. If I can make any changes, I don't think I can, but. But see, these are the reward tables, right? Here's the other thing too: is these are all the reward tables. So these are probably more skins, not necessarily weapons.
Recently?
I have not. I have not. I probably need to. I wish I could stream it. I'd love to stream it.
Ground pork with Italian seasoning.
But see, it's like trying to find these properties.
You can elsewhere.
I can elsewhere what?
Mushrooms and red pepper. So crushed red pepper and garlic in the olive oil.
Discord.
And the
no, because that would still be streaming. Technically, that would still violate the terms of service, I'm sure.
To a friend.
Yeah, but then the friend could record, right, and then put it up on YouTube or something, and then, you know, that just it's just a
Technically.
Yeah, technically I could do it. You know, it's not hard. I could just screen capture whatever's happening. Hell, I did it the other night. I was streaming Sir Whoppers. He was streaming through Discord. Yeah, he was streaming through Discord, and I just was streaming. I pulled the Discord down so people could watch what he was doing. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. Plus, I'm not gonna do that to those guys.
That being said, if you want to learn how to cook, I do cooking streams. The only way you can access my cooking streams is through.
So I gotta figure out.
I guess you could technically basically kind of do it through the YouTube.
See, I'm assuming that like these are
Possibility, but the best way is through
what these symbols mean, right? That's what we need to find out, and if I can make any changes. And these call functions too would be nice to know.
Community of wonderful little spurs. So join us.
So like if I put in
Unicorn Isaac Bowles says, "Did you see
like
the
this?
News Nation Now interview? I have not." Kyle shitting on his supporters. Whoever's counseling him is apparently also trying to bury him. That's been a question. David Hancock is
So maybe there's something
potentially in charge of this stuff. I do not
that we can
think
find
Kyle's
out
Tucker
that somebody already knows.
on the Tucker interview. I do
Yeah,
not
see, it's I think it's C++.
Black Lives Matter and
Maybe.
I think this is a stupid strategy. Is completely.
You know, nah, that's not it.
To Kyle Rittenhouse's ongoing.
See if I do
The pandering needs
if I do
to happen.
UDK.
But I'm not his attorney, so I can't say anything. Mario Carter says Tim Pool plays guitar for his
Scripting.
Legal Eagles. The Nihilist says, "What is this with the makers of Rittenhouse Rye? Where can I get a refund for a producer that cares that I'm celebrating?"
If I can just find something, yeah, it's in the C++.
Rittenhouse Rye.
But I don't. Fuck, I know enough to be stupid and dangerous.
Is the company that
Games readings before asking.
product along with others has released a statement. It's absolute bullshit.
Okay.
And it just shouldn't happen. Like,
But I can see these too. So we've got these weapons here.
I would appreciate likes and retweets.
And
on
see if I can
but,
if I know that,
Hill
let's
is
say
that people are buying Rittenhouse Rye in celebration. So
that
they're saying,
K is
"Thank you for giving us money, but please don't give
the
us money
proper
and
one
use it
to
in a way that
enable
we
it,
don't approve of," which is
then that would be great.
nonsensical. They're using the false premise that people are celebrating.
But
the
these are
deaths
like
of
the
Joseph
player
Rosenbaum
settings,
Anthony Huber.
and it's in the global
I will
progression.
celebrate the deaths of a pedophile and a
And
domestic
then
abuser because fuck you for being a pedophile and fuck you for being a domestic abuser.
This one
I
here.
will do that. I could say that most people are probably.
And these
just
are the
celebrating
global
justice.
XP
Rittenhouse
tables.
was attacked. He was attacked by a pedophile. He was attacked by a domestic abuser. He was attacked by a routine criminal charged with gun crimes, but still in possession of a gun, which would be a subsequent gun crime, by the way. Notice that Kyle was not illegally carrying a gun, but Gage Crossputz actually was. He was
See, and it
attacked
just
by monsters, and he defended himself. No one should be condemned to die at the hands of monsters because of your political beliefs. So, to Heaven Hill, get a fucking grip, you weirdos. Shut your goddamn mouths and let people buy whiskey.
Yeah, see, I don't know what any of this code is for that. That's the only thing that sucks.
Your job is to make whiskey.
And this is probably all goes like in a database. So this is all like database information, I'm sure.
But yeah, you can check out
Yeah.
that whole story on my Twitter account. Guardian1032 says, "Yes, let's lawyer some shit."
So it's just a matter of if there was something simple I could just enable, which would be great.
Giddy Fearer says, "Fluffer boy and late for shame." Jordan Jones says, "Rittenhouse Rye made a public statement about purchasing their liquor for celebration. It's a marketing failure." It is. Look, any political statement, no matter which way you go, is a marketing failure. Always just market apolitically. Why would you do this? If I made a whiskey, you would never know how I lean. You would just say, "Fuck pedophiles."
Yeah, see,
buy
that's
my whiskey. That's it. That's the best.
and this is
marketing
probably the hash for or the machine, whatever, for the
says, "I wasn't the
for the
one who
levels.
promised to pay, but he was
So I might not be able to.
hilarious.
Huh.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. Dapper Wolf says, "Nick, where were you at? Darnell, whatever guy just got off of bail, set to $5 million. Also, one of his victims, a child, died today." Did he actually go out on bail? Did he produce the $5 million? I don't think so. But maybe he did. Steve Sir Simo says, "Fun times on Timcast last night. Thoroughly enjoyed it." Oh, and for the question was, where were you at? I was flying home from Maryland. I went to visit Tim Pool, go on his show. They do their guests in person, which meant Sunday night I left my home. I went to a hotel. I then got on an airplane Monday morning. I flew to Maryland. I had 1 hour of free time on Monday evening, in
So
which I
looks
went to a
like-
grocery store, bought a rotisserie chicken and some grocery store sushi because there's no fucking food by that hotel. And then I went to the Tim Pool compound, had a great show, very hospitable group. We had a fun time. And then I went back to my hotel. I did a locals live stream where I went to McDonald's and ate some chicken nuggets because I'm a degenerate and I was hungry. And then I fell asleep.
So these are the
to
level
David's
rewards.
alarm, got up, drove another hour and a half back to DC, got on a plane, and then drove 2 hours home. I've been traveling
Yeah.
2 straight days.
So,
So that's where I was. Sorry, I would.
all right, well,
If I could. I also did a live chat in my Discord. I had a meeting with my YouTube partner manager and
so I could actually go into the game and make some changes and see, but I think that's what's happening is that the game rewrites these files, these here,
very busy.
global
that's what I've been doing
progression,
the past
local table, and then it probably loads like, I mean, look at this
Jags,
playtime
Lord,
award.
Chief, Dino- Oh, and by the way, tomorrow I'm definitely going to be on my show. I may be on Legal Bites' show, but also in the evening or late afternoon, I'll be on Chrissy Myers' podcast. I think it's called The Wet Spot.
But
Chrissy Myers, a female comedian.
let's see, it's got like
Funny.
for individual
I've been
class
with
per,
her on a couple different shows, and I like
you
her
know,
very much.
levels too.
We will be talking more Rittenhouse and other things. Also, the other day, I was on Eric July, also known as Young Ripa's show on YouTube. Guys, I'm putting in the hours. I'm putting in the hours for you.
See, it's got
so,
like the
there you go.
unlockability reward.
Oh, and also yesterday.
But see, if I don't know what that code is,
Before I got on my plane, I was on a.
I mean, I could probably look.
Radio show as well. So.
Right,
if you
under the
wonder where I
Turret
am,
progression,
working like a
property,
motherfucker.
Turret
That's where I'm
C,
Jegs War Chief,
Micrograph
Dino Dust,
frame.
Glad Nick and friends are tackling this tool. Oh my god, this is awesome. Lol says
oops,
Hoger volume.
go.
Okay. Cauldron says
Fantasy rewards,
question, the root
property name.
cause
Yeah,
of the
so
Rittenhouse incident wasn't the fact that Rittenhouse had a rifle, but that the politicians ordered the police to stand down and allow the riot to happen. Where's their accountability? Have you ever known a politician or a police officer to be accountable for anything? No, of course you haven't. There's their accountability. Stella says women aren't funny, me included. Look, you don't have to find Chrissy Mayer's podcast funny, but you do have to find me on it. Stegus says, Lord Moopies and my grandpa Dave passed away today. He was 92 and had his mind until the end. It would mean a lot to my family and I if you kept him in your prayers and if you took a drink for him, you would appreciate it. He was a great man who was always there for me, and he was always a shining example of what a man should aspire to be. Quote, it is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Marcus Aurelius. Stegus, absolutely. Look, I'm toasted.
Yeah, see, these are two different.
Sorry I didn't see this earlier, but I can share a drink to that.
I'd like to see what the difference is.
Sure. To Stegus and Lord Moopies, Grandpa Dave. These are brothers. I've met one of them. Unfortunately, I don't remember which one it was. I think it was Moopy. It was Moopy that I met. Maybe I met both of them. Oh God, now I feel like a dick. I'm so bad with names. Anyways, to Grandpa Dave. To Grandpa Dave.
Yeah, see, it's the machine code that's different.
Of integrity and of supplementing the job of
See how that's different?
and raising
The-
competent and
this
capable
here.
young men. go out and tackle the world. Something that not enough people are doing out there in the world today. Our young men need to be equipped, and the only way to equip a young man,
I don't know.
older man, and grandpas are wonderful, wonderful resources who remember a time before all of the bullshit and the nonsense of this current era. So, remember thoroughly and favorably your grandfather. May he rest in peace. Cheers.
Alright, I'm done fucking with this tonight.
Okay. Bear Business One says, praise the Don. Don Lives Matter. The Don is loved just like Cecil.
Wait, where's the...
I should announce this. I'm going to be talking about this more. Guys, Anime Matsuri is a convention, if you're new here, that I go to,
Alright.
have been going to every
What time is
year
it?
that it's
3,
run.
almost
It
4.
will be running
Alright.
coming
Well,
clear your calendars. Not only am I going to be at Anime Matsuri, but I am bringing a production that has never before been seen at Anime Matsuri, or to my knowledge, any.
oh. What's he doing? He's doing something silly.
It's not anime related,
Well.
but it is top quality. So,
Man, eggs and bacon sound really good right about now.
coming out as I solidify plans, but guess what? Anime Matsuri 2022, late July 2022, is going to have something
Alright.
that you have not experienced at any convention of any kind before. And it will be phenomenal. I will be there. You all should be there as well.
He's still up and running.
Cthulhu says, hey, been trying to send a super chat with a site that is supporting one of the kids that got run over by the BLM activists in Waukesha, but YouTube isn't letting me send the site. Cthulhu, email it to me. We'll talk about it tomorrow on the live stream during the day. Emily Wooten says, can we move from Rittenhouse to Ventavia Whistleblower? Fenrir Lightgrove says, how tall is
Alright,
about
I'm heading out.
that's the thing. I have a real picture. Do you guys want to see the real picture of me?
Catch you guys later. Alright, I'm out.